Lawn and landscaping business owners, if you're searching for the ultimate Facebook ad structure so that you can boost your business in 2025, you've come to the right place. I'm Jose, and for the last 2 years, I've been honing a strategy that has powered my own lawn and landscaping company. Now, in our 10th season, we generate over $1 million in revenue and double-digit profits. In this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step on how to set up and structure your Facebook ads so that you too can have a profitable season. So let's get into it and let's grow your business.
All right, so jumping right into it, we want to choose leads as a campaign objective. That's the one that I use for my company. That's the one that has helped me scale to over $1 million in revenue. So let's go ahead and hit continue. We always want to choose manual leads. All right. The next step is to name our campaign. And we have to be clear here. We're going to label it clearly so that we know what this campaign is for. And what this campaign is for is going to be for our creatives. Here we're going to test creative specifically. So we're going to go creative testing, okay? That we were clear. So this specific campaign is going to be for testing creatives, if I haven't said that enough already. So the next thing we're going to put it as an ad set budget optimization, meaning the campaign itself is not going to control how much spend it goes to each ad set and therefore ad. Right now, we want to test at the ad set level, and so that's how we do it. We do it by choosing ABO. The ad set's going to control how much money is given to each ad set. So hit next, and we can hit next, or you can also just click on this part right here. Okay, so with the naming convention at the ad set level, we already know that this whole campaign is going to be for creative testing, right? But it's not just creative testing, that's testing period. So this one, we're going to test the creatives. If I hadn't mentioned earlier, a creative in Facebook ads is the video or the image that you use, okay? So we're going to figure out which creative is a winner in this ad set, right? So the next thing you want to do is you also want to name it whatever service you're going to advertise. And real quick, you don't want to mix service types. For instance, if you have landscaping, especially if it's higher ticket landscaping ads that you're running, that audience is going to be vastly different than the audience for lawn mowing services. So we want to keep those separate. We don't want to advertise those two services within the same ad set, much less campaign. I prefer services, then I will run a completely different campaign for that. Okay, so don't mix it. Service name. So let's call it FWC for fertilization weed control. You can call it mowing, whatever you want, and you can actually run if you want to duplicate this and run different services. So like mowing. This one is going to be one ad set. FWC would be another ad set. And that's fine. And this will work for anything that's recurring revenue. Okay. So the next thing is going to be our targeting options. That way we know exactly what this ad set contains. We don't have to click on it and figure it out, right? So this one specifically is going to target open target. What I mean by that is I'm not going to choose any specific demographics, any interest. The only thing I'm going to do, and that's something else I'll put up there, is put in the age group, 30 plus, that I'm advertising to. And so we have that there. We know it. I also like to include the date. So today is 2/27/25. Okay. That's pretty much it as far as the naming convention goes. One thing I did want to make sure that we have here is that you make sure you're using instant forms. And so we can use that. I don't normally put that on there, but if you want to test different things, I would put that on there. My go-to is always instant forms. You can try Messenger if you're the type of person that likes to be on your phone and you're at the ready to get back to these leads, then by all means try it. You can get really cheap results that way. However, they usually tend to be lower quality results, right? And the website, I've never really worked out for me. Facebook doesn't like it when you send people away from the platform, so I've always stayed away from that. If you need to watch how to do that, I got that link in the description of a video that I made that talks about all of the details of my options that I'm choosing and why I'm choosing them. But the main thing I want to focus on here is because we chose open targeting, we want to make sure we switch this right here to original audiences. And the reason being because if you don't do this, then really your audience is going to be Advantage Plus, right? And while this can work for you, it doesn't work for everybody. If you have a brand new account, it's not going to work for you. Advantage Plus is for aged accounts. If you have already years of data that has been fed to your Facebook pixel or your Facebook account period, then it's okay to use. I've used it and it does well, but for the purpose of this, because most people watching this video are probably still new to Facebook and have newer ad account, they're not going to use this right away. You can use this later on. So we're going to switch to original audience options, use original audience, and scroll down a little bit. Here, one thing I do recommend is go ahead and upload a custom audience of your existing clients. So let's say, for instance, I want to advertise fertilizer and weed control services, and I have a special offer, right? I have a 50% off, or I have a free aeration or something like that. I don't want to advertise that to my existing clients, right? I don't want them to feel like they're getting gypped off or anything like that. So what I'll do is I create an audience, and then I'll go ahead and upload it here. I'll create a separate video. Go look for that video. As of this recording, it's not out yet, but within a few weeks, it should be out. So on how to upload custom audiences or your client list in here. So what you want to do is add exclusions for that. That's when you would choose your custom audience. I'm not going to do anything with target with custom audiences as far as people who any lookalikes or anything right now. Right now, this is just for cold traffic, and we're going to target just about everybody. The only thing I do recommend is that you choose your locations and be very specific. Use drop pins. The age, because I already know that. I guess I got to choose a location. I'll just choose USA. Because I already know my target client is going to be older than 30. I'll choose that. And that's going to be the case for most home services. And then one little sneaky thing that Facebook does here, detailed targeting, Advantage detailed targeting. They're going to choose interest. They're going to choose different things. I don't want that. So I'm going to select edit, unclick that box. That way it's all open. It doesn't choose anything. I don't want it to there. I don't want Facebook AI in this specific ad set to do anything that I don't want it to do. Okay, and then the next thing is the placements. Placements is a very important thing. You don't want to waste your money with certain placements. So click on edit, manual placements, and here just completely uncheck audience network. And if you wanted to leave it like this, you can. What I also recommend is removing the in-stream ads for videos and reels and the search results. Those are two places where as I've monitored my results for my ads, I just don't do very well there. So I'll go ahead and take those out and just go ahead and hit next or click on this ad. Okay, so at the ad level, we're going to want to keep with that naming convention. This is going to be for creatives. Okay. And here we're going to name our creative. So you can call it, photo 1, or depending on the style of your photo, maybe you have two of the same exact images. One of them has certain words on it that you put on, maybe you're using Canva to edit. The other one doesn't. Whatever. Name it something that you can easily keep track of. So I'm going to just call it photo 1. That's what I like to do. And I like to make folders on my desktop where, I keep track of all of this stuff. I keep the date. I keep track of the photo. I call it photo 1 in my folder. Then I'll call it photo 1 here, etc. And I try to keep the same creative stuff named together. So if that makes any sense. The next thing we're going to do. So the next thing I like to put is I put copy control, meaning in this specific ad, I'm using the control copy, the copy that I am not going to change because I'm not testing copy just yet. In this ad set, I'm testing the creative. Okay. And I'll show you how this comes into play. So then go ahead and fill all this out, upload all your stuff. Put your primary text, put your headline, all that stuff. Again, if you need an explanation on how to do all that, I have a video covering every single little detail about all this. And if you don't want to test anything, if you just want to run one ad, I don't recommend it because with Facebook ads, you have to test. It's a matter of testing and figure out what is working. you can just hit publish and you're good to go. You're off to the races. And within a matter of a few days, if not hours, you'll start getting some leads if your offer is good enough, if your creative is good enough. But let's go ahead and duplicate this ad because I want to test which creative performs best on Facebook. So I'm going to duplicate this real quick, and that's going to take everything that I put in, and I recommend 2 at least. Everything that I already put in the headline and the primary text, all that stuff, it's going to have all the same stuff. So I need to go in here to these blue ones. The green ones is what's already been done, and name it something else. So this is going to be photo 2, okay? And you can delete that. And then this one, it's going to be photo 3. Delete that part. Okay. And so all of these ads now have the same copy, the same catch line, the same hook, all that, same offer, but with different creatives. Maybe one of them you'll make a video. You know, you can edit this and change the video out and change the image on the other one. We want to test which one works out the best. And again, if you need to know what Facebook ad is performing the best, how to find that out, go ahead and go to that video. I explain it in detail there. And if you want it to be done, this could be it. If you didn't want to test anything more, if you think your copy is fine, we can stop here. But I really recommend also working and testing your copy. So let's say we have this photo 2 is doing exceptionally well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead actually and pause these. And the way you pause is you go ahead and select it. And up here in the top right corner, you hit that one right there. Same thing, go to that one and unclick that right there. And so the only one that is running is this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this whole ad set, right? But now I'm going to name it something else. This is not creative. This is copy. Okay. And so at the ad set level, I know now that this ad set specifically is for copy. And you can put testing, okay, to make it more sense. Copy, testing, put the date if you're doing this at a different date. You know when you started this. Everything's going to be the same here. We're going to go to, I think it was photo 2. And by the way, you can come over here and you can delete these right here, which I do recommend. Delete those. Photo 1. Let's go ahead and delete that one. Okay, because we're taking our winning creative. And now we're going to mess with the copy. We're going to start doing different hooks. Maybe we do a different offer. You can change all that. And so what you can do now is you can go ahead and duplicate this. Let's say I got 2 of them that I want to test. And go to your first one right here, photo 2 copy. So the copy control, this is now no longer the control. Now this is copy 2. And you don't have to keep this naming convention. I would do something like the offer. Let's say my first offer was free aeration, and now I'm going to do 50% off. Right there, right? And so now let's say my second one right here, my second, or technically third, would be free first. No, I'm just throwing something random out there. So now you're going to test with the winning ad copy, creative, you're going to test the copy to see which one does well. Now, I will say this, with Facebook ads, you cannot just set it and forget it. You must constantly monitor it, especially if the size of your audience is smaller, like I'm talking under 200,000, you're going to want, and especially if you got higher ad spend, you're going to want to change out your creatives often, probably once a week, maybe every other week. It all depends on how it's doing. You have to monitor the data. You have to monitor the frequency, all that stuff, and just constantly be testing. Sometimes all you have to do is duplicate this, a certain ad, duplicate it and change nothing and just pause the old one and restart it. what that'll do is it'll prompt Facebook to now send this to a different audience perhaps, or a different part of your audience. So sometimes that's all you have to do. Most of the time you do have to change something because there's ad fatigue or creative fatigue. So that's basically it. You just keep doing this over and over until you find something that works. By the time, summer comes, most of you guys are booked up and you can either keep running the ads or you can pause them. But this is how I do it. There are more steps where you can take this ad set and then run it with winning ads, but that's a little bit more advanced. This is for people who are running more advanced campaigns. I think for most people who are watching this video, this is going to be sufficient. This is going to bring in leads. This is going to bring you business. All right, guys, I hope everybody has a great 2025 season. If you have any questions, please feel free to. Been able to help you at all, please like and subscribe. Take care and God bless.